Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Calori. I'm the President and CEO of New Jersey Transit. I want to thank all of you for being here. I know Mayor Finucci is not here today because I think he's sick, but we appreciate the hospitality of this wonderful city always. Before I introduce Senator Testa, Commissioner O'Connor, and the two wonderful Assembly people, I want to not only welcome you, but I wanted to tell you this announcement is very special to me. This is, I think, and I hope Senator Testa would agree, this is the government at its best. In the spring of this year, a month or so ago after I started, Senator Testa, I had the pleasure of meeting him for the first time. He said, I want to focus on one thing on transportation, which is he wanted a direct connection between this transportation center and Atlantic City because he thought it was very important to connect the residents of Vineland and the surrounding area to the casinos in Atlantic City. And what I loved about the idea, it was not only was it pragmatic at its core, but it was purpose-driven. It was about employment and connecting people in this region to a very strong employment base in Atlantic City. I love the vision, I love the energy, and frankly, I love the leadership. So when Governor Murphy asked about how we can better access and improve transportation in South Jersey, this was one of the ideas he latched onto. And Chairman O'Connor, who's not only Commissioner of Transportation, but Chairman of New Jersey Transit, also intuitively understood that it's not just about highways connecting to employment centers, it's also about mass transit connecting to employment centers. Look, I'm a product of South Jersey. I grew up in Cumberland County, and I can tell you that South Jersey has its challenges from a mass transit perspective, no doubt about it. But as a growing part of the state, mass transit has to be part of any equation that solves an employment, work-related nexus with mass transit as its solution. That's what this really is about. It's not like there's not buses that connect Vineland to Atlantic City. It's just that they are not as frequent and they make a lot of stops. If you want to get to work, you can't stop in 14 bus stops. By the time you get to work, you're too late. So this idea was such a clear, concise, pragmatic idea. We couldn't wait to get it done. And I want to thank Senator Testa for his leadership on that. While I have your attention, I also want to talk about a couple of things real quick, if I could. New Jersey Transit has been around for 45 years. In those 45 years, we've never had a consistent funding source. So what always happened is there was a schizophrenic approach to funding New Jersey Transit. We never had money for operations. We certainly never had money for capital. One of the goals that Commissioner O'Connor and myself and the governor latched onto at the beginning of this year is we said, by the time we leave office this December, we will modernize the entire fleet of buses and trains by 2031. It's not a small objective. It's an objective worth $3 billion. And I want to tell you that we've already received 1,000 buses. We have now placed orders for 1,400 more buses. And we have now also authorized procurement of 374 new multi-level cars. And the reason I say that this is important, not because the numbers are big or they sound fancy. New Jersey has to be the best in class for mass transportation in the country. And you can't do it if you have rail cars that are built in the 1970s still running, or buses that are from 20 years ago still on our roads. Our residents, whether it is in Vineland, whether it is in Mercer County, whether it's in Middlesex County or Essex County, every one of our residents deserve a quality transportation system to get them, whether they're going to work, whether they're going to a hospital system, or frankly, if they're going for pleasure. Our commitment, and I got to tell you, again, Senator Testa sits on the Budget Committee, and you have two Assembly people who are very engaged. They understand intuitively why this is important for the residents they represent. And I want you to know, We're all of different parties. But what I love about it is partisanship and party does not come in the way when the solution is a good one. And that's what this is a great example of. And I'm telling you, no one is better at bridging that divide than Senator Testa. I'm going to ask him to come up and say a few words.
So when President Kaluri has to unfortunately leave after December, I'm going to hire him as my speechwriter and do all of my introductions. No, but truly, folks, I want to thank everyone for being here. I have to thank Governor Murphy for understanding that South Jersey really matters. President Kaluri, I cannot thank you enough, not only for your kind words, but for your commitment to South Jersey and the residents of Legislative District 1 and Legislative District 2 because of Atlantic City being a main focal point of why we are here today in my hometown of Vineland. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Council President Spinelli here today, who's here for the city of Vineland. My brother, Anthony Fanucci, the mayor, unfortunately could not be here today. But President Kaluri struck a chord when he said that this all started with a meeting in my office in the spring. But I have to go a little further back. I met with the president of Local 54, President McDevitt, I think in February of 2020, pre-COVID, about this very initiative of getting employees from the city of Vineland and its surrounding areas into great job opportunities in Atlantic City. Job opportunities that include great benefits, union benefits for themselves and their families, medical benefits, and what we all really dream and strive for, and that is upward mobility. So it took a little while, but President Kaluri, you said it best. This is what good government looks like. Here we are under a tent outside of the bus depot here in my hometown, the city of Vineland, and we are going to be providing direct transportation and real employment opportunities for people who desperately need those opportunities. And unfortunately, sometimes government doesn't work the way it should. I'm thrilled to death that this is taking place. And I have engaged in partisanship, and I've called New Jersey Transit, North Jersey Transit in the past. No offense to you. This was before President Kaluri came along and his team. But now there has been this wonderful focus on southern New Jersey. And it shows that there is this commitment and a partnership to work together for the betterment of every single person that myself, Assemblyman McClellan, and Assemblyman Simonson represents, and for all of the people that New Jersey Transit serves. This is one heck of a partnership. We all have so much to be very proud of. And as I look at the Vineland Atlantic City Shuttle pilot facts and figures, it's remarkable what this is going to do for the residents of the city of Vineland and its surrounding areas. And I take a look at the Vineland Commuter Express. Only government, unfortunately, can sometimes not speak to the captains of industry, which President Kaluri, you did. You bridged that gap with folks that are owners of the Hard Rock Casino, the Borgata, Ocean Casino, who are in desperate need of employees. We finally have gotten this across the finish line. This is an historic day for southern New Jersey. This is an historic day for Cumberland County, the city of Vineland, all of Legislative District 1. I am so proud for our partnership. And more importantly, folks, sometimes in government you make friends. I want to thank you, President Kaluri, for your friendship. He's one of those individuals that when you call, no matter where he is or where you are or what time it is, he picks up the telephone. And if he can't talk to you right then, you get a text message, I'll call you back in 5. And lo and behold, 5 to 6 minutes later, you get that phone call. We have much to be proud of. This is the start of something very big for southern New Jersey. And it shows you what good government looks like when we all work together and pull in the same direction. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you, Senator Testa. Look, I'm a big fan of Occam's razor. which basically is summed up saying, don't simplify the complicated and don't complicate the simple. And I got to tell you, no one in the world that I come from in transportation better exemplifies that principle than Chairman O'Connor. He and I have only known each other for about a year and a half or two, but the partnership we have formed in solving these kinds of problems that Senator Testa talked about is a good example of how you can keep replicating. Problems are inherently complex, but the solutions don't have to be. You just got to be able to see through it and figure out a way to do it, and nobody does it better than Chairman O'Connor. Come on.
Thank you, Chris. And it's the second time this week, and I will say we are so happy that you are leading New Jersey Transit. And I would think that whoever's the next governor will actually talk to you to see if you could stay on for the job you have done this last year. And it's been a pleasure working with you side by side. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be in Vineland for this important occasion. I want to begin thanking Senator Testa, Assemblyman McClellan, Assemblyman Simonson. I have to thank Steve Dougherty, the Executive Director of South Jersey, who's sick today, who's not here. Also Mayor Fanucci, but also, of course, our MC today, New Jersey Transit President and CEO Chris Calori. Today, the South Jersey Transportation Authority and New Jersey Transit proudly launched a new express shuttle bus pilot between Vineland and Atlantic City. With 2 weekday round trips timed to major casinos and employee shifts, this pilot will provide a reliable, affordable option for workers and residents in Cumberland County who need to reach Atlantic City. For $6 each way, or with an existing New Jersey Transit monthly pass, customers will now have direct access to jobs, education, health care, and many attractions that Atlantic City has to offer. As Commissioner of Transportation, I see how vital it is to create more ways for people across New Jersey to travel safely and efficiently. This pilot is about connecting South Jersey residents to opportunity, reducing congestion on our highways, supporting our tourism economy, and strengthening our statewide transportation system. The effort reflects Governor Murphy's broader commitment to South Jersey Transit, including investments in microtransit and other flexible services to reach communities that have long been underserved. At the same time, New Jersey Transit is advancing the most ambitious fleet modernization in its history. More than $3 billion statewide for over 1,400 new buses and nearly 400 new rail cars. Together, these investments will transform the customer experience for years to come. So while today's launch is focused here in South Jersey, it's also part of a larger story, investing in people, communities, and the future of New Jersey's entire transportation network. I want to thank Governor Murphy for his vision, the legislature for its support, our local partners here in Vineland and Atlantic County, and everyone who made this pilot possible. With that, we'll turn it back over to Chris.
Thank you, Chairman. As the chairman was speaking, I was focused on this number 20 on this board. 20 is it's a nice number, but it's a pretty abstract number if you don't know the meaning of it. This means 40 people from this area, every day, we can change their lives. 40 people who will have the ability to move up the economic ladder in ways that we don't have access to right now. And the folks from Unite who are here, who are sitting in there, some of their members will be part of this upward mobility, as Senator Testa talked about. That is a remarkable moment. 40 lives will be transformed because of this one initiative. So my advice to all of us in government is it doesn't matter whether it's one person or 2 people or 20 people. We make progress, not always in big leaps, but in an incremental way. And this is a great example of that. With that, I'm going to ask Assemblyman McClellan to come up and say a few words. He is a member of both the Economic Development Committee as well as the Appropriations Committee. Please come on.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. This is an unbelievable occasion. I worked in Atlantic City for 10 years, and many of my friends would have to either drive in to the expressway and park and catch that bus in to the casino. So this absolutely helps a lot of people coming from Cumberland County, even Salem County. It's less of a drive for them to even come here and catch this transportation as well. So one of our sister counties here. So this is very exciting, and we greatly appreciate the investment in the real South Jersey. I know you're from Camden, but this is the real South Jersey. So we greatly appreciate that happening, and the continued investment in the things that we can do in our communities, Vineland, Millville, Bridgeton, and those type of communities that need our help and our assistance getting folks back and forth to Atlantic City. So everybody have a great day. This is a joyous occasion. We're going to continue to celebrate some more great investments, and I'm glad you said that the number should not matter, because that's the most important thing. I'm tired of hearing that when we talk to people, well, you don't have that many people. That shouldn't matter. If we're changing lives and helping people and investing in people, that number should not matter. So this is a great occasion. Thank you for listening to Senator Testa. I try not to do that so much, but he's a great person, a great opportunity, and we celebrate the real South Jersey together. My big brother, I love him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, you know him then, so he's a very persuasive fellow. So you don't have a choice but to listen to what he has to say. Look, on the way here, I had a chance to look at Assemblyman Simonson's record and the committees he serves on, the issues he takes on, whether it's veterans or whether it is the special needs community. It's a pretty remarkable legacy that he is building, and frankly, the work he's doing. This is, I think, in many ways, not just for a particular group of people, but this shuttle bus, I think, it will give access to anybody who wants to work in the casino, and I really am glad you're here. Please come up and say a few words.
Glad they saved the best legislator for last, so thank you. And we are number one. But this definitely helps Legislative District 2 as well, and like Antoine said, 3. And this is hopefully the tip of the iceberg with New Jersey Transit and a partnership in the real South Jersey. So I'll be brief, but thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we appreciate the lives that you're going to change, not just in Cumberland County, but throughout this area, helping them get to and from jobs or, like you said, for any other reason. So thank you again, and God bless you.
All right. With that, I will take questions on subject, and we'll do off-topic later. Any questions? We're good? All right. We're going to go to the bus, and then we'll take pictures. Thank you.